when the quarantine first happened, I had prayed and I had said, "Hey God, like, by the way, it's not a religious podcast either. We respect all religions, but
Yeah.
whatever." I prayed and I said, "God, give me something profound," because I started to become one of the speakers of our company because
Nice.
I that's one thing I do appreciate about this last company is that I learned a skill that I never had, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is like speaking and I used to be afraid. I used to be scared to freak. I used to be scared. I'm not scared to freak, by the way, but I used to be scared to speak in front of people because that's actually the fear of 98% of people. Some people
Mm-hmm.
would rather die than
Mm-hmm.
actually go speak in front of a
Right,
crowd.
right.
But what I realized is that um, I actually had a talent for it, and because I was forced out of my comfort zone,
Mm.
and so I was doing a national Zoom for our company, and I had prayed before, and I said, God, give me something profound to tell people. Give me something, why is this happening? Like, and what had come to me was God said, I'm gonna put life on pause so that everyone can stop and just kind of reevaluate their life and their faith and their family and their finance, like everything in their fitness.
Mm.
Just reevaluate your entire life,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's going to be this take this moment to be able to really dig deep and delve and see if you're doing the right thing,
Right.
like if you're doing the right thing with your faith, if you're doing the right thing with your family. I've talked to so many people that said, wow, I just realized I never really spent time with my family. Like, this allowed me to get back and
Mm-hmm.
in touch with my family, spend
Mm-hmm.
more time with my family. Your finances, whether what you're doing as a career, if that's what you're supposed to be doing, or maybe you should change, right? And so what it came to me was, you have to stop. I'm going to give you time to stop, to reevaluate, and if you're doing the right thing, then keep going and go harder, right? But if you're not doing the right thing, it's time to make a change,
Yeah.
right? Because when I put life back on play, um, you're either gonna you're either gonna make the changes or you're gonna stay the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know why, but I had started watching a lot of YouTube videos, and then all of a sudden, Joe Rogan. By the way, I want to make a vlog or a video about this, but Joe Rogan, who's like one of the number one podcasts in the world, the JRE Experience. Shout out to Joe Rogan. Um, yeah,
That's Joe. I'm JHO.
yeah, there you go. This is the Joe Rogan, no, Joe podcast, right? Anyways, so Joe Rogan just signed a deal with Spotify for $100 million, and I was like, "What? Like, wait a minute, huh? Like $100 million?"
Mm-hmm.
So all of a sudden, I realized, man, if you're a successful creator,
Mm.
you're worth at least $100 million. Like,
Yeah.
the best is worth $100 million now.
Mm-hmm.
And that reminded me of like when the first pro athlete signed $1 million deal. So all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute. You're telling me that there's an industry where you can be creative. I can be aligned with my natural gifts. It's fun. I can surround myself with people like me,
Mm-hmm.
creative, artistic. People that love to travel and do all that kind of stuff. You can actually earn a living out of that. And I was like, man, so for me, that's where this whole podcast, and it's going to eventually we're going to have a YouTube channel. So look out for that, right? A video podcast, YouTube channel, and a podcast. And I said, you know what? I can take all the stuff I learned the last 10 years and realign with my creative self,
Mm-hmm.
my naturally created self. And if I just really do what I learned it takes to be successful, which is the go all in, be committed, no matter what, make it through adversity, work hard, just bust it, then I could, eventually have a career that I love,
Mm-hmm.
where I live fulfilled. And the ultimate goal is to, sign a deal 10 times bigger than Joe Rogan with
Mm.
a major, creator. So
Mm.
that's kind of where this all came about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of where this podcast came about. We're here, and Joe and I we're following our bliss. We're following our natural gifts. We're aligning with our creative side. And you know, it's not going to be perfect in the beginning, but done is better than perfect. You know what I mean? And